तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः.
Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kaviviriditam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadatatam Bhuvi Grunantiye Bhurida Jana. We are studying here the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and yesterday, due to some technical mistake, we could not continue the class. And I have checked up to what point it has been broadcast, and that is on the 22nd April. Last line of that passage was not recorded. So we go back to the last para of the conversation. The preacher wanted to conclude everything. So he said, stylistically, you have given us a fine talk, sir. That is enough now. And to that, Thakur understood that. To master with a smile, he understood. Do you know the nature of devotees? When one devotee meets another, he says, let me speak and you listen. Thakur has already spoken and he has listened. And he has also spoken. And when you speak, I shall listen. So both things are over. Thakur has accepted that. Now this last line. Huh? You are a preacher and teach so many people. So this is praising him and taunting him also. You are a steamship and I am a mere fishing boat. So that is Thakur's fun taunt. Thakur always used to take such position, everything included, all laugh. So they understood this point, that is not the real truth. So here we end that conversation. And now we shift to 2nd May, Wednesday, 1883. And there we start. About this was all in Brahma Samaj. About 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Sri Ramakrishna arrived at the temple of the Brahma Samaj in Nandan Bagan. So again Brahma Samaj, accompanied by M. Rakhal and a few other devotees. Accompanied by them, he has gone there. At first, the master sat in the drawing room on the ground floor, waiting, where the Brahmo devotees gradually assembled. Rabindranath Tagore and a few other members of the Tagore family were present on this occasion. Let me put one small word here. This Tagore is English form. Their surname actually is Thakur. And we can easily understand Thakur means lords. So it's a community. They are called Thakurs. In my opinion, below Brahmins but higher than others. Thakur, okay. So that English has become Tagore. And we do not find elsewhere Rabindranath coming to Thakur. And here also he has not come to Thakur. They were all Brahmos. So he has gone to the Brahmo Samaj and Thakur also is present there. Rabindranath Tagore and a few other members of the Tagore family were present on this occasion. A few of the Tagores were devoted later on. The artist, not this, on this Bengali edition. The front page is by some Tagore. Avanindranath perhaps. Anyway. And one boy also we remember in the gospel, Thakur was too much paying attention to Narendra. Then this Thakur boy says, we are as if grass floating on the Ganges. Then Thakur a little caresses him like that. Sri Ramakrishna was asked to go in the worship hall on the second floor. A dais had been built on the eastern side of the room. There were a few chairs and a piano in the hall. The Brahma worship was to begin at dusk. So Thakur has gone earlier. 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So dusk means evening. As soon as the master entered the worship hall, he bowed low before the dais. So this is the first thing we mark here. Up till now we have not seen this. They have no image in their temple. And there is a dais for the speaker to sit and talk. But Thakur is bowing down to that dais. And he explains that. So this is a new thing. Having taken his seat, he said to M and the other devotees, Narendra once asked me, so indirectly talks, what good is there in bowing before the Brahma Samaj temple? That means this has happened previously also, though we have met it first time. Now Thakur explained, the sight of the temple recalls to my mind God alone. Then God consciousness is kindled in my mind. So temple represents God and God consciousness is raised in my mind. God is present where people talk about Him. One feels there the presence of all the holy places. Places of worship recall God alone to my mind. So Sakar, Nirakar and all that, no person, no image, nothing matters. But it's a temple and God consciousness is arisen and everywhere I see God, so I bow down. One said, so this should be marked by everybody. Once a devotee was overwhelmed with ecstasy, Thakur is explaining, at the sight of a babla tree. What is babla? The idea flashed in his mind that the handle of the axe used in the garden of the temple of Radhakanta was made from the wood of the babla. So long shot association. From the wood of the babla, axe is made. Axe is made in the garden of Radhakanta temple, nothing to do with worship directly. So, association it tells how it functions. That is holy for him. Overwhelmed with ecstasy, that much. Another devotee had such devotion for his guru that he would be overwhelmed with divine feeling at the sight of his guru's neighbors. association. Krishna consciousness would be kindled in Radha's mind at the sight of a cloud, because it is blue. A blue dress or a painting of Krishna. She would become restless and cry like a mad person, Krishna, where art thou? So, all extreme cases of loving God and by association thinking of God. Ghoshal. No, Ghoshal is not mentioned up till now. Some Ghoshal. Huh? But madness is not desirable. So he does not understand madness lower and higher. Master, what do you mean? Was Radha's madness the madness that comes from brooding over worldly objects and makes one unconscious? So let us understand this. In the world, there are several objects, and a man becomes attached to a particular object, and all his sense he loses. Cannot think of anything but that object. So his mind comes down and cannot behave as normal. I will give examples. One lesson was there in a textbook. Name of the lesson was Lunatic Asylum. And visitors go there. And one man receives them and shows around everything. And he tells some woman she has lost her husband in perhaps shipwreck, but she does not want to believe. She is hoping that he will come back. One man, his hand is raised like that. So other man is whistling like the engine. And he's saying signal, make the signal down, train has to pass. Like that, like that. Then, when they come out, he does not come out. Says, why you are not coming out? No, I am not allowed to go out. So he was also a patient. Oh. And he says, what is my mistake? Well, one man says before that, I put seeds in the ground, 10 times I have changed the soil, 12 times I have given water, and yet nothing has come. And then this man says, I had made a big discovery. For running a train, you don't require the steam and coal and cost. You take one big magnet ball and keep in front of the engine. It will pull. But who will push the magnet ball? Why? You cannot understand that. Train is pushing it. And for this they have put me in the asylum. So, the thinking is distorted. Now you come to God. God pulls a mind above all objects together. And that abnormal and subnormal they cannot understand. We call anything not normal as abnormal. But abnormal means above normal. And below normal is subnormal. Sarada Swamiji has explained in great detail in Great Master this point. So when the mind is lifted above, he cannot think of the world as we think it. World is either unreal or associated with God. Everything is associated with God. And that is what Thakur has described. So that madness is very much desirable. Because ultimately, and Thakur has been using these words very often, Premonmatta, Jnanonmatta. So that is what he is telling. And in a sharp way. What do you mean? Was Radha's madness the madness that comes from brooding over worldly objects and makes one unconscious? one attains that madness by meditating on God. Haven't you heard of love madness and knowledge madness? He has used those words. Premonmatta, Jnanonmatta. A Brahmo devotee, how can one realize God? So they accepted that point, that madness is of two types. And now, in a simple way, the Brahmo asks, how can one realize God? And Master consistently has been giving the same reply. Any person asking about God has only one reply: by directing your love to Him. And reasoning that God alone is real and the world illusory. So we can call it Jnana Mishra Bhakti. And percentage may be less or more. But without love of God, no progress. And love should not be blind. So the Viveka should always be there. God alone is real, everything else is unreal. Now this Vedantic discrimination, he goes about preaching to everybody, mind you, whether householder or a sannyasi or sakar or nirakar. To Master Masha in the very second meeting, he told this. So this is Thakur's consistent thing. I have told one incident many times. Let me repeat it ad infinitum. My master was talking to some householder devotee. About 15 or 20 minutes he has talked. And then he says, do you understand what I have told you? Anurag or Virag in Bengali. Love and renunciation. And then he says, have you understood renunciation and love? Have you understood love and renunciation? Like that. So I understood that he does not want to put extra emphasis on any one of them. You cannot pronounce both together. So something before you will have to tell. But that does not mean that that is more important. So reverse. Now as soon as we see reverse, emphasis may change. So again this. So by that continuously changing, he means that both are equally important in life. So all bhaktas should understand that without discrimination, bhakti will not proceed. And the so-called Vedanti should understand that love is the only force which will take you to God. Reasoning will not take you to God. Reasoning, Swami Vivekananda said, is like scavenger. It will clean the street of thorns and there will be no pits and like that, but you have to walk with your heart, love. So this is important, repeated by Thakur again and again, that God alone is real and the world illusory. And this world includes this I. The Ashwatha tree alone is permanent. Its fruit is transitory. Like example in the world, that Ashwatha tree will continue. The fruits will come and go. Brahmo. We have passions like anger and lust. What shall we do with these? Direct question. And Master's direct answer. Direct the six passions to God. You understand? And very direct reply. How to turn karma to God? The impulse of lust should be turned into the desire to have intercourse with Atma. Straight away. So this intercourse itself will lift you. Feel angry at those who stand in your way to God. So anger is not on God. When kama is obstructed, it leads to krodha. So your love for God, if somebody obstructs, be angry on him. Feel greed for him. Greed means more and more. So that also you feel for God. If you must have the feeling of I and mine, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mother, that is mother. Feeling of I and mine, then associate with God. Say, for instance, my Rama, my Krishna. If you must have pride, oh, so this is moha, huh? Moha, huh? And then mother. If you must have pride, then feel like Vibhishana, who said, I have touched the feet of Rama with my head. I will not bow this head before anyone else. One thing remains, Matsar, Brahmo. If it is God that makes me do everything, then I am not responsible for my sin. This is another misunderstanding. Master with a smile. Yes, Duryodhana also said that, O Krishna, I do what thou seated in my heart makes me do. If a man has the firm conviction that God alone is the doer and he is his instrument, then he cannot do anything sinful. So, talking by words, by mouth, and feeling it are different. Holy Mother has given the same reply. One boy asked her that my bad things also God makes me do. Mother says, are you talking by mouth or from your heart? That was the counter question. So if you are talking by mouth, no meaning. If you are talking by heart, bad will not come at all. All bad proceeds from I consciousness. If a man has the firm conviction that God alone is the doer and is his instrument, then he cannot do anything sinful. He who has learned to dance correctly never makes a small false step. This is the example. One cannot even believe in the existence of God unless one's heart becomes pure. So that evil doing and all that, that must go. Na virato duscharitat na shanto na samaita. Kathāmrita will tell, those who want God, they will get. But these people will not get. Those who have not stopped their sin. So, in the gospel, we are meeting the same question and same answer with different illustrations, different directions, different emphasis, and that is why the gospel is so sweet. Consistent. Sri Ramakrishna looked at the devotees assembled in the worship hall and said, it is very good to gather in this way, now and then, and think of God and sing His name and glories. But the worldly man's yearning for God is momentary. That also he knows, that many of the Brahmos have very superficial devotion. It lasts as long as a drop of water on a red hot frying pan. Very sharp. The worship was about to begin and the big hall was filled with Brahmo devotees. Some of the Brahmo ladies sat on chairs with music books in their hands, Western style. The songs of the Brahma Samaj were sung to the accompaniment of harmonium and piano. Piano is an extended harmonium. Sri Ramakrishna's joy was unbounded. Because they are talking about God, singing about God. The invocation was followed by a prayer and then the worship began. Worship means discourse. The Acharya seated on the platform recited from the Vedas. Om, thou art our Father, give us right knowledge, do not destroy us, we bow to thee. This will be nice to read from Sanskrit. Om Pita no Asi, Pita no Bodhi, Namaste Ma, Ma Hinsi. Mam means Ma, Ma Hinsi. And this is the meaning. The Brahmo devotee chanted in chorus with the Acharyas, Om Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, from Taittiriya Upanishad. Ananda Rupam Amrutam Yad Vibhati, Shantam Shivam Advaitam Vimandukya, Shuddham Apapa Viddham. So they selected and made a prayer. Om Brahman is truth, knowledge, infinity. Truth, knowledge, infinity. In Taittiriya, Shankara Bhashya, it is discussed at great length. But they are chanting. It shines as bliss and immortality. Brahman is peace, blessedness, and the one without a second. It is pure and untainted by sin. The Acharya chanted in praise of God. Om Namaste Satete Jagat Karanaya Namaste Chite Sarvaloka Shrayaya, etc. This is from Mahanirvan Tantra.
Oh.
We take a class on that in our Stotra series last.
Oh.
From the unreal lead us to real. No. Om, O reality, cause of the universe, we bow to thee. Both sentences combined into one. Then the Acharya chanted their prayer together. Acharyas together. Acharyera prarthana kurite chale. So more than one Acharya is there, they are together chanting. Asatoma sadgamaya, tamasoma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya, avir mahedi. From the unreal lead us to the real, from darkness lead us to light, from death lead us to immortality, reach us through and through, O Rudra, and protect us evermore with thy compassionate face. Oh, last line. Rudra yatte dakshina mukham tena mam pahi nityam.
This is from where? This one? Rudra yatte dakshina mukham?
I have seen this in Dakshinamurti Sutra. Dakshina means auspicious. And God is, Rudra means terrible. If you do mistake, he will hit you. But you should turn your benevolent face. That means as Guru. That is Dakshinamukha. Literally, the Shiva is conceived at north. And Shiva has 5 mouths, 5 faces, on 4 directions and above. So out of that face is towards Dakshina means south, Dakshina means right, Dakshina means auspicious. So south, he is looking towards south. That means he is beneficent, and that means he is Guru. As Sri Ramakrishna heard these hymns, he went into a spiritual mood. After this, an Acharya read a paper. So there was an assemblage of Acharya. So one Acharya read a paper. The worship was over. Most of the devotees went downstairs or to the courtyard for fresh air while the refreshments were being made ready. It was about 9 o'clock in the evening. The hosts were so engrossed with the other invited guests that they forgot to pay any attention to Sri Ramakrishna. So take Thakur's reaction now. Master, to Rakhal and the other devotees. What's the matter? Nobody is paying any attention to us. Rakhal angrily. They are invited, so they should pay attention. But Rakhal angrily. Sir, let us leave here and go to Dakshineshwar. Master with a smile. Keep quiet. The carriage hire is 3 rupees and very practical in that. The carriage hire is 3 rupees and 2 annas. Who will pay that? Stubbornness won't get us anywhere. You haven't a penny and you are making these empty threats. Besides, where shall we find food at this late hour of the night? So food and fare. That Beni Madhav is to fix the hire at 2 rupees. And if you are late in the night, 1 rupee extra. So if that much is there, then no problem. So that Beni Madhav will pay. But who will pay the extra? After a long time, dinner was announced. Long time. The devotees were asked to take their seats. The master with Rakhal and the others followed the crowd to the second floor. No special arrangement. No room could be found for him inside the hall. Finally, with great difficulty, a place was found for him in a dusty corner. A Brahmin woman served some curry, but Sri Ramakrishna could not eat it. He ate luchi with salt and took some sweets. So that is Sri Ramakrishna's perception is very sharp. If that has been touched by somebody impure, he cannot take it. There was no limit to the master's kindness. The hosts were mere youngsters. How could he be displeased with them, even though they did not show him proper respect? Further, it would have been inauspicious for the household if a holy man had left the place without taking food. Finally, the feast had been prepared in the name of God. So one has to take that person. Sri Ramakrishna got into a carriage. But who was to pay the hire? The host could not be found. Referring to this incident afterward, the master said to the devotee jokingly, the boys went to our host for the carriage hire. First they were put out, but at last they managed to get together 3 rupees. Our host refused to pay the extra 2 annas and said, no, that will do. So everything funny and Thakur is taking as a fun without any the least reaction. Imagine what would have happened to us. So that day is over. Sunday, May 13, 1883. So that was May 2nd. Sunday has come. Now you will see contrast. This Nirakar Brahmas are over. Now he is going to Harisabha. The master paid a visit to the Hari Bhakti Pradayini Sabha. Hari Bhakti Pradayini. That means that Sabha which gives you Hari Bhakti. Of Kanchari Pada in Calcutta. A mohalla. On the anniversary day of that religious society, so their annual function. Kirtan and other forms of devotional music had been arranged for the occasion. The song centered around the Vrindavan episode of Sri Krishna's Leela life. The theme was Radha's peak because of Sri Krishna's having visited Chandravali, another of the gopis of Vrindavan. You know the story. Chandravali is called Kathāmrita, and there is Prema Radha, Nitya Radha. So Radha was not angry because Krishna has gone to other gopis. She is not jealous. But she knows that Chandravali does not treat him properly. So why should he go to Chandravali? That had made her this man, sulking. But Krishna's mind is that whoever has whatever attitude, I will satisfy that. And we have just now read that the karma should be directed to God. Radha's friends tried to console her and said to her, "Why are you picked? It seems you are not thinking of Krishna's happiness." Tat sukha sukhitam is the principle of love. But only of your own. Radha said to them, "I am not angry at his going to Chandravali's grove, but why should he go there? She doesn't know how to take care of him." So, Radha's sulking is not out of egoism, but due to her love for Krishna that she will not treat him properly. Over that day. Huh? So, Hari Bhakti, what happened, Master Masha is not recorded. Only this song. Then May 20, 1883. 1 week. Huh? The following Sunday, a kirtan was arranged at the house of Ram, one of the master's householder devotees. Ramchandra Datta, we know, he is from the original two people, Manomohan and Ram. They came to Thakur first. One of the master's householder devotees, Sri Ramakrishna graced the occasion with his presence. The musician sang about Radha's pangs at her separation from Krishna. That was the usual topic. When Krishna went away to Mathura, then Radha is suffering. Radha said to her friends, "I have loved to see Krishna from my childhood. My fingernails are worn off from counting the days on them. Till I see him, till I shall see him. Once he gave me a garland. Look, it has withered, but I have not yet thrown it away." So, the intense love manifestations are available in Radha and of the Bengali poets' imagination of Radha. Alas, where has the moon of Krishna risen now? Has the moon gone away from my firmament, afraid of the Rahu of my peak? So these are allegorical.
Rahu of my?
Her man, due to her man, Krishna has gone away. Oh. Now Rahu grasses sun and moon, so that man has been compared like Rahu. Now due to my sulking, has he gone away? Alas, shall I ever see Krishna again? Oh, my beloved Krishna, I have never been able to look at you to my heart's complete satisfaction. The more you look, the more you feel the hunger. I have only one pair of eyes. They blink and so hinder my vision. So that is the intensity of Gopi's love. And further, on account of streams of tears, I could not see enough of my beloved. Duration, winking, and tears. The peacock feather on the crown of his head shines like arrested lightning. Lightning flashes, but then it is arrested. So it is like that peacock, because always there. The peacock, seeing Krishna's dark cloud complexion, would dance in joy. Peacocks dance whenever there are clouds, thinking of rain. Spreading their tails. Oh friends, I shall not be able to keep my life breath. After my death, please place my body on a branch of the dark tamala tree, because the color resembles Krishna's, and inscribed on my body Krishna's sweet name. So, this is the love described. The master said, God and his name are identical. That is the philosophy. Nam Namya Ved. That is the reason Radha said that. So, the final statement of Radha, Krishna, Thakur explains. Right on that tree, Krishna's sweet name. There is no difference between Rama and his holy name. So, that is a proverb with them, though we are talking of Krishna. So, there is a saying in the Vaishnavas, Ram Arthar Nam, because it rhymes. Next Sunday, Master Masha is free on Sundays. So, is next Sunday, May 27, 1880. And that day what happened, fully the Master Masha does not remember or describe. That which has spiritual direct features and Thakur's talk, that much he gathers. Because it is not possible that only one song was sung. May 27, 1883. So this is additional point we are getting. Sri Ramakrishna was in his room at Dakshineshwar, conversing with the devotees. So that Sunday, it was in Dakshineshwar itself. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning. Master to him and the other devotees, it is not good to harbor malice. That is dvesha, paraspara. That is not good. The Shaktas, the Vaishnavas, and the Vedantists quarrel among themselves. That is not wise. Padmalochan was court Pandit of the Maharaja of Bardwan. Once at a meeting, the Pandits were discussing whether Shiva was superior to Brahma or Brahma to Shiva. It is not about Shiva and Vishnu, Shiva and Brahma. And Thakur catches that point and describes. Padmalochan gave an appropriate reply. I don't know anything about it, he said. I haven't talked either to Shiva or to Brahma. So the meaning is that because you do not have direct realization, so the quarrel comes. Only ideas, your attachment. If people feel sincere longing, they will find that all paths lead to God. So whichever sampradaya you belong, if you are sincere, that love will lead you to God. But one should have nishtha, single-minded devotion. You are not asked to travel, but have respect for all and have your own path. It is also described as chaste and unswerving devotion to God. That nishtha. It is like a tree with only one trunk shooting straight up. You have seen in our garden? Many plants have only one stem and flower. Many. Promiscuous devotion is like a tree with 5 branches. Promiscuous means changing this God, that God, that God, that God. That is called promiscuous. What is the English?
Vyabhicharini.
Vyabhicharini. Changing. Such was the single-minded devotion of the gopis to Krishna that they didn't care to look at anyone but the Krishna they had seen at Vrindavan. Within Krishna, the different forms. The shepherd Krishna, bedecked with a garland of yellow wildflowers and wearing a peacock feather on his crest. At the sight of Krishna at Mathura, with a turban on his head and dressed in royal robes, the gopis pulled down their veils. They would not look at his face. Who is this man? They said. Should we violate our chaste love for Krishna by talking to him? So everything Thakur describes in extreme. They know it's same Krishna. The devotion of the wife to her husband is also an instance of unswerving love. Pativrata Stri. She feels her brother. Aha. Now, how she behaves in the father-in-law's house, how she keeps her devotion to the husband. So all gods have to be looked at that type. She feeds her brothers-in-law as well and looks after their comforts, but she has a special relationship with her husband. Likewise, one may have that single-minded devotion to one's own religion, but one should not on that account hate other faiths. On the contrary, one should have a friendly attitude towards them, because they are the forms of the same God. The master, so that is the brother-in-law's relation. The master bathed in the Ganges and then went to the Kali temple with him. He sat before the image and offered flowers at the feet of the Divine Mother. Now and then he put flowers on his own head and meditated. That is the tantric form of worship, and Thakur practiced it with realization. If you visualize that God is in you, no, Thakur saw that God is in him. So keep the flower on your head. After a long time he stood up. He was in a spiritual mood and danced before the image, chanting the name of Kali. Now and again he said, O Mother, O destroyer of suffering, O remover of grief and agony. Was he teaching people thus to pray to the Mother of the universe with a yearning heart in order to get rid of the suffering inevitable in physical life? So Master says remark that Thakur is not doing for himself, he is showing this for people. Sri Ramakrishna returned to his room and sat on the west porch. Rakhal M. Nagpur Vaishnava, Nakud, and other devotees were with him. Nakud had been known to the master for about 25 years. He was a devotee of Gauranga and had a small shop which Ramakrishna had often visited when he first came to Calcutta from Kamarpur. Still overpowered with divine ecstasy, the master sang, O Kali, my mother, full of bliss, enchantress of the Almighty Shiva. Sadanandamayi Kali, Mahakalir Manamohini. तुम्ही आपण सुखे आपने नाचो, आपने दाव मा करताली, आदिभूता सनातनी, शून्य रूपा शशी भाली, ब्रह्मांड छिलो न जखन, मुंड माला कुथाय पेली, सबे मात्र तुम्ही यंत्री, आमरा तुम्हार तंत्र चली, जेमन कराव तेमनी करीमा, जेमन बोलाव तेमनी बोली, निर्गुणे कमलाकांत दिए बोले मा गाला गाली, सर्वनाशी ध्वरे अशी धर्मा धर्म दुटू खेली. Kamalakant's songs are full of some allegory, knowledge, devotion. So, O Kali, my mother, full of bliss, enchantress of the Almighty Shiva, in thy delirious joy thou dancest, clapping thy hands together, eternal one, thou great first cause, clothed in the form of the void, Shunya Rupa Shashivali. Thou wearest the moon upon thy brow, that is Shiva does, so Kali also does. Where didst thou find thy garland of heads before the universe was made? Where she got it? Previous cycle. So eternality of the cycle of the universe. And there she destroyed. So she got all the heads. And that she is wearing. Thou art the mother, mover of all that move, and we are but the helpless toys. If one can realize these things, then worries are over, sorrow is gone. We move alone as thou movest us. Alone means only. And speak as through us thou speakest. So not I, but she is doing. I am the instrument. But worthless Kamala Kanta says, berating thee, confoundress, with thy flashing sword, thoughtlessly thou hast put to death my virtue and my sin alike. So, Kali destroys both the virtue and sin. And then that I becomes merged in Kali. So that it describes in a funny way. Next song. Amar Ma Tum Hi Tara. আমি জানি মা ও দীন দয়াময়ী তুমি দুর্গমেতে দুঃখ হারা তুমি সন্ধ্যা তুমি গায়ত্রী তুমি জগদ্ধাত্রী গোমা তুমি আকুলের ত্রাণ করতে সদাশিবের মনোরমা তুমি জলে তুমি স্থলে তুমি আদ্যমূলে গোমা আছো সর্ব ঘটে अर्घ्य পুটে সাকার আকার নিরাকারা. This is the song Thakur taught Swamiji. He sang again, Mother, thou art our soul redeemer, Tara.
Oh.
Tara means one who helps to cross the ocean. Thou the support of the three gunas. So three gunas are rested upon the Nirgun Brahman. And Kali is the second form. So she is the other of the three gunas. That means anything in the world, she is the other. Higher than the most high, thou art compassionate. I know who takest away our bitter grief. What is this translation? Trigunadhara Paratpara, Dina Dayamayi Tumi Durgamete Dukkhara. Sandhya art thou and Gayatri. Sandhya, the worship done at the conjuncture of day and night and day. And mid-noon also. And thou art the Gayatri. Gayatri is the meter in which that mantra is there. And it is identified with that meter. So here Gayatri will mean both the meter and the mantra. Thou dost sustain this universe, that is Jagaddatri. Mother, the help art thou, Akulera Tranakartri. O eternal beloved of Shiva, Sadashiva Manorama. Thou art in earth, in water, thou liest at the root of all, in me, in every creature, thou hast thy home, though clothed with form. Akshapute, Sarvagate. yet art thou formless reality. Thou hast thy home, though clothed with form, yet art thou formless reality. Home, though clothed with form, I would translate in a little different way. And that is the Swarupa. To me, Sakar. Sakar means with form. Imagine a wave of water. Now, water with wave form. That is she, Sakar. Akar. But that form of the wave also is water only. And so, Nirakar. So you are without the form. That is the thing. Okay? Then some songs are mentioned. The master sang a few more songs in praise of the Divine Mother. Then he said to the devotees, it is not always best to tell householders about the sorrows of life. They want bliss. Those who suffer from chronic poverty can go without food for a day or two, but it is not wise to talk about these sorrows and miseries of life to those who suffer if their food is delayed a few minutes. Some people, sannyasis can remain fasting, but those who cannot delay, don't talk up to them. Vaishnavacharan used to say, why should one constantly dwell on sin? Be merry. So he takes Vaishnavacharan's name. While the master was resting after his midday meal, Manohar Goswami, a singer of Kirtan, arrived. He sang about the ecstatic love of Gauranga and the divine episode of Vrindavan. The master was absorbed in a deep spiritual mood. He tore off his shirt and said, to the melody of the Kirtan, assuming the attitude of Radha, O Krishna, my beloved, O friends, bring Krishna to me, then you will be real friends. Or take me to him and I will be your slave forever. So this madness, Thakur has torn his clothes. Musicians had spellbound at Sri Ramakrishna's ecstasy. Then he said with folded hands, won't you please rid me of my worldliness? He became overpowered. Master, you are like the holy man who went about the city after first finding a lodging. You are a sweet person and express many sweet ideas. So encouraging the merits, then only he can go forward. Musician, sir, I am like the bullock that only carries the bag of sugar but cannot taste it. Alas, I myself do not enjoy the sweetness of divine bliss. The melodious music went on and all were filled with joy. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibirīditam Kalmashāpaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadaatatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.